They say timing is everything. But what happens when two people keep meeting at the wrong time, over and over again? Liam and Sarah had been best friends since high school. Not the loud, dramatic kind of friendship everyone teased about. The quiet kind. The deep kind. The kind where he could call her at 2 a.m. just to breathe, and she would understand what that silence meant. She knew his fears. He knew her dreams. They grew up side by side, sharing secrets, sharing laughter, sharing everything. Except honesty about the one thing that mattered most. Somewhere between late-night calls and "I'll always be here for you," Sarah fell in love. She tried to ignore it, tried to convince herself it was just attachment. But love has a way of demanding to be spoken. So one afternoon, with her heart racing and her hands shaking, she told him, "I love you, Liam." He looked at her softly, almost apologetically. "I love you too, but only as my best friend." Only. That word changed everything. Sarah smiled that day, but something inside her shut down. She couldn't stay close to the boy she loved while pretending it didn't hurt. So she pulled away, slowly at first, then completely. They went their separate ways. Different cities, different lives, different versions of themselves. Years passed. Sarah grew into a woman who had learned how to guard her heart. She met Rooney, steady, reliable, safe. He loved her loudly, publicly, without hesitation. She said yes when he proposed, telling herself that stability was better than longing. Then one random afternoon at a supermarket, fate decided to play with them again. "Sarah?" She froze at the sound of that familiar voice. "Liam." Time didn't rewind. It paused. They laughed awkwardly, talked about life, about growth, about how much had changed. But beneath the small talk was something unfinished, something that had never truly died. When he kissed her that day, it wasn't the careless high school boy anymore. It was a grown man who now understood what he had once dismissed. The kiss was slow, intentional, heavy with years of what-ifs. And that terrified her. So she ran again. She blocked him, focused on her wedding, focused on building a life with Rooney. Soon, she was pregnant. Soon, she was a wife. Soon, she was about to become a mother. The night her labor started, everything was a blur. Pain, panic, hospital lights flashing above her. And then she heard a voice giving instructions calmly. "Don't worry. I'm here." She looked up. Liam. He was the doctor on duty. Of all the hospitals, of all the doctors, it was him. He helped her deliver her child. He held her hand when the contractions felt unbearable. He told her she was strong. He looked at her like she was still the girl he once shared lunch with. And when their eyes met after the baby cried for the first time, the world felt dangerously small again. They started talking after that. Innocently at first. Just checking in. Just old friends catching up. But old flames don't stay small when there's unfinished history. She went to his house one evening, telling herself it was closure. It wasn't. What they had been suppressing for years exploded into something intense, overwhelming, addictive. It wasn't just physical. It was emotional, familiar, deep. The kind of connection that makes you forget consequences exist. She was married. He knew that. But in those moments, they only felt like Liam and Sarah again. Not husband and wife, not doctor and patient, just two people who had missed their timing. It became a secret. Their secret. Stolen hours. Hidden messages. Quiet confessions. Until Liam got engaged. Mary was everything stable. Everything peaceful. Everything that didn't come with chaos. And for the first time, Liam chose the life that looked right instead of the love that felt consuming. He started pulling away from Sarah. Fewer replies. Missed calls. Short conversations. Mary was noticing. And Liam didn't want drama. But Sarah wasn't ready to lose him again. She didn't want to leave Rooney. She didn't want to break her home. She loved her child. She loved the life she had built. But she didn't want to share Liam either. She wanted him to herself. Completely. She confronted him one night. "Why are you ignoring me?" Her voice wasn't just hurt. It was desperate. Because this time, it wasn't about high school feelings. It wasn't about rejection. It was about possession. About finally tasting something she had wanted for years and refusing to let it go. Liam stepped back. For the first time, he looked afraid. Not of her, but of the damage. And now the question lingers. With the way Sarah is handling this, do you think Mary will eventually find out? Do you think Rooney, her husband, will notice the shift in her heart? Who is truly at fault for Sarah's obsession? Liam, for loving her too late and opening the door again? Or Sarah, for never fully letting go? And can Sarah really eat her cake and have it? Or is this the kind of love that always ends in ruins? Some love stories are beautiful, some are tragic, and some are the ones we never tell. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.